the minimum required marks to join national and extra county schools. On the third question, can the Cecm confirm how the total slots for scholarships that were available and how many were allocated to each ward of county? Honorable Chair and members, the board received 565 eligible applicants, and upon thorough vetting of the said applications and limitation of resources, the board was able to narrow down to 133 successful applicants. The beneficiaries were distributed to respective ward and sub-counties as evidenced in Annex 1, which shows the list of beneficiaries per ward and county. On the question of the Cecm to provide a list of students who benefited from the scholarship and the number of students per ward and sub-county and provide copies of the application form, Honorable Speaker, the distinguished members attached herein is the list of 133 beneficiaries of the said scholarship. The distribution was based on performance, regional balance, number of applications in a given ward, gender, people able differently, affirmative action. Annexed is the list of beneficiaries per ward. Another question, in the Act, there was no provision for high school or rather secondary schools to benefit from the scholarship. What informed the decision to award the secondary school to students? Honorable Speaker and distinguished members, based on the powers and functions of the board, the County Education Fund Act 2023 under Section 19(2)(0) stipulates that the board shall perform and exercise all other functions and powers conferred on the board by this Act. In its powers, Chair, the board in a meeting held on 13 December 2023 noted with concern the fact that the said Act had no regulations to operationalize it. It, however, due to time constraints and need at hand, where students were expected to report to schools by start of January 2024, the board resolved to formulate the Turkana County Education Fund guidelines to guide the process, and that is evidenced by Annex 2, which is called the minutes that deliberated on that aspect. Honorable Chair, the board was properly guided. In the absence of regulations, guidelines can be formulated for this Act of the County Assembly awaiting finalization of regulations. That the said Act passed by the County Assembly of Turkana has mandated the board to perform and exercise all other functions and ensure effective enforcement and administration of the Act's. These guidelines would then be legally binding as long as they are consistent with the objectives and provisions of the Act. Additionally, Chair, the state guidelines adhere to the principles of fairness, transparency, and legality to withstand any legal challenges. In the same meeting, Chair, the board further resolved that the secondary school applicants should be considered in the scholarship program, and since it noted that there were many inadequacies in the world education bursary program to meet the overwhelming need of the school fees subsidies in the entire county. A good example will be a case of a brilliant need is still lacking fees and requirements to join high school. The decision was also based on the glaring communal outcry on various platforms, including churches, burials, rambes, community gatherings, of students seeking financial support to join high school. Chair, lastly, what was the role of the Ward Bursary Committee in the identification of needy students, since the board didn't move around to verify the vulnerability of the awarded students? Honorable Chair, the Ward Bursary Committee had no role in identification of needy students in the scholarship program, mainly based because under Section 12(4) of the Act, it states that the grant shall vest in and be operated and managed by the board. Further, Section 19(2)(f) and G provides that review allocations to ensure support offered is adequate and sufficient. The board will give, and G talks of the board will have to effectively vet and consider applications of the Turkana County Scholarship Grant. Honorable Chair and members, due to constraints of time and resources, the board was only able to sample a few cases within some wards as listed: Kanam Kemer Township, Lokiriamba, Lorengipi, Takwel, Local, Lokicha ward, among others. It is clear, another question, the last one, I think, Chair, it is clear the Cecm hasn't made any regulations to operationalize the Act or part thereof.